Next, I'd like to invite up Gillian Graber. She's the executive director and co-founder of Protect PT. As a mother of two, Gillian is passionate about keeping her children and community safe from the impacts of fracking. After an experience dealing with air pollution issues in her own home, she has firsthand knowledge of the health impacts that pollution can have on family and how government agencies often ignore residents in distress. She equips residents with tools to feel empowered to fight against the fossil fuel industry.
Okay. Hello, everyone. I'm Gillian Graber, Executive Director of Protect PT. All right. We started this organization 10 years ago. Never did I think I'd be here 10 years from the time this started. I think I've been to every one of these conferences since I started organizing around shale gas development, just to learn as much as I could possibly learn. While trying to understand what was happening to me and my family. Oh, great, thank you. All right, so we started this organization in my living room. And now I have 8 full-time staff members. I have 12 dedicated board members. We have multiple volunteers, wonderful supporters, and just really a lot of support for the community. In. And, oh, there we go. Okay, so this is Penn Township. This map, you can see, started with 1 well pad. That's the one near my house. And then 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 10, 12. And this was the invasion of this industry in my community. And over the past 10 years, I am happy to say only 4 have been built yet. I was asked by the industry, is your tactic to delay? I said, no, my tactic is to stop. I want to stop this development from happening. So I feel like that is a big success, that we've been able to at least push back enough that there are only 4 well pads being built. There are more being built every day. Some of them are zombies and may never be built, but over the years, we just have to be vigilant, which is my main topic for today, being vigilant. So this is the Gaia well pad, one of the well pads in Penn Township. Thank you to Frac Tracker for the wonderful footage here. Situated near homes, schools, and daycares. And then we have the Menace well pad in full frac. You can see the truck staging on the side in this rural community. This is right next to a golf course where residents recreate every day. And we realize that challenges don't just stop with a well pad. There are the waste streams. No, this is not just brine, as you heard today, but the industry is looking for a place to put their garbage. And so they said, why send it all to Ohio when we could save money and keep it in Pennsylvania, right? So Penteco Solutions, started the first injection well in Allegheny County back in 2020. And this is the first of 3 injection wells that is slated to be situated on the site. Local people got involved. They spoke out. We educated folks on what an injection well was. I was educated on what an injection well was by another wonderful organizer from Ohio. We started, getting together the folks in Plum Borough. They responded when they saw people were impacted. And in actually 2022, we participated in local hearings for this Stop 4A, which was the second of the well pads slated. We illustrated the health impacts that the residents experienced, and Plum Zoning Hearing Board said that they didn't think they had the right to say no, so they just approved it. But we appealed to the Commonwealth Court eventually, and they said that the board does have the right to say yes, and in fact, it is their duty to protect the residents. So they should have said yes if they found that this was not the best thing for the residents. So we are back 2 years later, at the same time, same place, at the local hearings, educating residents and collecting resident stories so we can tell them to the zoning hearing board in hopes that they deny the second and eventually third well injection well that is slated for this site. But what about drill cuttings? You know, we heard a lot about the waste from the site. You know, the industry needs to find a way to dump their waste. This is a big problem. So why not Westmoreland Sanitary Landfill? You know, over the past 5 years, we've been organizing with the community around the landfill. We did health surveys, we compiled data and pressured public officials and DEP to protect the people who lived around the landfill. While the tactics had some success, the industry is very clever, and they have help from our friends at our state agencies who, instead of protecting us, worked with the industry to help them solve their problems, like the contaminated leachate at the landfill. You'll see that WSL, you know, they were piping their leachate to the Bell Vernon Water Authority, and they said enough is enough. This toxic, salty leachate that killed all the bacteria at their plant is no longer going to be sent here. So what do they do instead? They're going to have to truck it off site, but that costs them a lot of money. So hey, how about we evaporate it in the air? How about we take it and put it in the air, and all those toxins can get people even more sick than they already are. So we said, no, let's not do that. They would rather deposit those chemicals and naturally occurring radioactive materials on people's homes, backyards, and waterways. Additionally, the landfill has an extensive history of violations. The community had little faith that they would carry this out, this leachate plan, with the appropriate concern and well-being for them. But through persistence, commenting and organizing, and legal advocacy, we were able to pressure WSL and DEP to withdraw their air permit in late 2024. This was a big success for us in the community. But polluters will be polluters. And WSL applied for a new Title V air permit, and they just applied for a new NEPDES permit to discharge their treated waste into the Monongahela. As we heard before, I think it was Dr. Stolz who was talking about how polluted the Mon is. Well, let's pollute it some more, why don't we? So they're gonna treat it and then put it in the Mon. But where does that sludge from the treatment the process go? We still don't know that. So we must be vigilant and work and keep pushing our state agencies to do their job and stop harming residents with toxic leachate from fracking waste. But the threat of oil and gas waste doesn't stop with landfills and injection wells. The barging of fracking waste down the Three Rivers in Pittsburgh is another way to get this waste to Ohio. And so we organize with our partners, some of them here today, and we organized and came up with a plan to try to stop this from happening. Currently, there is no waste barging that we know of, certainly not legally, but the industry is geared up to expand facilities in Ohio, like this one, along the Ohio River, for this exact purpose. So we, again, must be vigilant and keep organizing. We responded by mobilizing partners, which sparked this Tri-State Oil and Gas Waste Collaborative that highlights the importance of looking at the oil and gas industry as a whole, from the extraction point to the downstream operations and where waste is generated and where it's going. So in 5 years, the Oil and Gas Waste Collab has around 22 members, many of them with successes of their own. Some of them are here today. You know who you are. But there are always new strategies that the industry comes up with to threaten our health, waterways, and air. So, but this is a great depiction of the Oil and Gas Waste Collab. We work with the 3 states because if we solve the problem here in PA, what are we going to do with our friends in Ohio and West Virginia? What are they going to do? So the industry said, hey, how about converting these old conventional wells into injection wells? And so by working together with municipalities, we're able to help local municipalities advocate for and educate them for protective ordinances. You can see on the map here, the maroon dots and the orange dots are potential new injection well sites. These are low producing or not producing wells. If you give this map to a municipality, we'll zoom in on the municipality and let them know, hey, these are potential sites. It freaks them out, especially if they don't have an ordinance. So then we educate them on how to do that. And I'm happy to say that the places in purple indicate successfully enacted ordinance based on education and advocacy. So we hope that one day this whole map will be purple, but right now we've had successes in stopping an injection well up north in Clara Township, as well as helping Fayette County, organizing with partners to ensure that Fayette County and several other municipalities here in purple are protected from oil and gas waste injection wells. And by developing new technologies, we are able to keep an eye on this industry. With our mobile app, we're able to teach people how to watchdog in their community. We can open up environmental monitoring opportunities and develop a new database that allows us to have a record of when the industry expert talks at a hearing, whether it be a local hearing or in court, and really tells lies about what is okay in people's near people's homes and in their communities. So we've successfully developed an environmental monitoring program, like I said, 10 years, started in my living room, and now we're gathering evidence of these impacts, and we're engaging young scientists through internships as well. And we engage in things like statewide campaigns, like Lois was talking about, where we were able to put in a rulemaking petition accepted by the EQB late last year, calling for larger setback distances from oil and gas waste or oil and gas infrastructure from homes, schools, playgrounds, and places of worship. This will ensure that everyone in the state is further away from fracking as is needed. But we also mentor and fiscally sponsor other organizations, at least 8 community organizations, empowering them to organize themselves, giving them the resources to be able to do that and be successful in their own communities. And of course, we can't do it alone. So working in silos doesn't really help anybody. Working together is the best way for us to all be successful. So we need to work together and pool our knowledge and resources to push back against this industry that's harming our communities. And we will continue to be successful in the future. So thank you.
Thank you, Gillian.